This jingle is literally growing on me. You should have seen me dancing. I was like, yeah.
Y'all just don't know. Like behind the scenes, we'd be like, doom, doom, doom. A whole lot of dancing. And like we want to thank Drew so much with that he's the one that did it for us. And he's actually like working on like a remix 2.0 for us. And he was like, whenever you're ready, he's gonna do a revamp and we're gonna jazz up even more. But we want to say welcome everyone. Welcome to Living Single and Saved. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. First Sunday. It is the 1st of September, and we are excited to be here. I am one of your co-hosts, Mandy, and we have
Steffi. I feel like I'm the visitor today. It hasn't been a minute, you know.
It does feel like it's been a middle. And then TJ, he's leaving work, so he's going to be popping in later on. But we are so super excited and blessed to be with you today. Welcome to Living Single and Saved. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Share with your auntie, your cousin, everybody, and let them know that Living Single and Saved is here. And we're going to have a phenomenal day. You know, we have reached the last quarter of 2024. Can you believe that, Steffi?
You know, it feels unreal. It feels unreal. Really, it really does.
It does. It feels like this year is zooming by so fast. And even though it's moving fast, we want to make sure that we are on track to completing all the beautiful things that God has for us. But before we get into our conversation tonight, you know, this program has been brought to you by none other than the Latter Rain Apostolic Prayer Hub. So we're going to let you learn a little bit about Latter Rain. In the meantime, share with your family and let them know that Living Single and Saved is here. And we will be right back.
This program is brought to you by the Latter Rain Apostolic Worldwide Prayer Hub, the place where the intercessors gather. This is a hub that equips disciples, commissions, and sends them out to do the works of Christ Jesus through the fivefold giftings. We are honored that you have joined us today. Get connected today by visiting our website at www.latterrainapww.org and subscribe to our mailing list. Join us for our weekly prayer meetings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Clubhouse.
Welcome to Jamaica, the land of endless adventures and unforgettable experiences. Are you ready to discover the rhythm of the Caribbean? Join us on an immersive journey through Jamaica's rich tapestry of sights, sounds, and flavors. From the bustling streets of Kingston to the serene shores of Negro, every corner of this island paradise beckons with promise. Whether you're seeking adrenaline-pumping adventures or tranquil moments of relaxation, Jamaica has it all. Let our team of experienced travel experts tailor make the perfect itinerary for you, ensuring that every moment of your trip is filled with joy and wonder. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Contact Abundant Grace. Travels today to start planning your dream vacation to Jamaica, where every day is a celebration of life.
So we are back and we are in the building. Steffi, how have you been? The last time that you were here, you were going on a trip. How was your trip?
The trip was beautiful. St. Lucia is definitely gorgeous. First time there, I loved it. And shout out to my friend that decided to bless me, my other friend, and my little sister, and gave us a tour of the entire island. It was wonderful. But blessed.
But don't move on from there. I hope you didn't go and have a girl trip. You know, I warned Steffi. I said, I know you're leaving the country, but just know that God is everywhere and he sees you even in the islands. So I hope you didn't go on a girl's trip. I hope
it was a girls' trip, but my little sister was with us, and my friend's son was with us. So it's not the type of trip you would think. It was literally family oriented. It was beautiful.
Beautiful. It feels as though I've just been doing a lot of reflections, and it feels like living single and safe comes so quickly these days. And I know everyone keeps saying, you guys got to come on more. But it feels like, to be honest, it feels like it comes so quickly. And I think it's just because we've been so busy about the Father's business. And it's a beautiful thing. But we are in the last quarter of the year. Like September is here. We only have 4 more months left. Well, would it be the last quarter? Technically, it'd be the last third.
Yeah.
The last third of the year, but we're coming down to the wire, and because of that, everyone right now is gearing up to go back to school if they have not started. Some of us, I'm in college. I'm starting class this year, last semester, and I'm so excited, so excited about the. It makes me think about time and how precious time is. And it seems as though time is moving so fast. And I think it's always good to come back and refocus to make sure that we are accomplishing everything that we have set out to do.
With that being said, sorry, just take a
Yeah.
So you know how people at the beginning of the year, you write down all these, maybe not to-do lists, or what do I call it? Resolutions, or you make your little vision board. This is the perfect time to see, hey, have I checked off a few things off the list? But go ahead, Mandy. Sorry.
I'm in complete agreement. I do New Year's resolutions, and what many of us do, we're so guilty of it, is that we make our lists in January 1, 2, 3, and we never look at it again. It's that one list and that's it. But I do think it's a great time to dust that list off to see, how are you progressing? Are you on track? And if you're not, it's not too late to course correct and to get some things accomplished. I think many of us, we're so guilty of coming up with these beautiful goals and having these beautiful dreams. And I love writing down these goals because it establishes a level of standard that you can always come back to and measuring, how am I progressing in this area? Like, we're just so guilty of write it down, forget about it. But we have to really start measuring, am I walking towards this goal? And if I'm not, what can I do to course correct to make sure that I get to that destination? So I completely love that advice. Because it's necessary. So if you're someone that made a resolution, had some form of goal in mind that you wanted to accomplish this year, it's a good time to do that evaluation, checking in and saying, am I on track? Am I on track to doing that? I love that. That's a great advice, Steffi.
It's not too late, right? Because you said something there, writing it down, and sometimes we forget about it. Writing it down makes it law. So it's kind of you committing to yourself that you're going to get it done. Let's say you forgot one or two things off the list. That's why I say it's a good time to pick it back up. Because
Mhm.
if you take it back up and you look, you can be like, oh my God, because sometimes we forget what we said we wanted to accomplish. Oh my God, I did this, I did this. Or it might be like, ooh, this one's still hanging. Like, let me get this done. So it's great to kind of reflect, because if you don't, then you wouldn't know how far you've grown and where how much further you can, right? So very important, very important.
I love it. So, one of my I have a lot of pastimes, and one of my pastimes or guilty pleasures, so to speak, is to watch YouTube, right? And I
Uh-huh.
watch a whole plethora of videos. I will spare you the details. Some are exhilarating and some are completely grotesque, but don't judge me. But one thing that I do watch sometimes are these shows called Pop the Balloons. And I distinctively remember an episode where I believe a candidate was asking a potential person that they could possibly a match with. They asked that person, well, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I think that's a standard date question that we ask. What do you see for yourself in 5 years? And to my amazement, and this is my icebreaker to you, Steffi. And to my amazement, the person responding saying, "I don't know." They're like, "I don't know." Like, I'm just like living life. And as we're talking about purpose and goal, if you are on a date and you ask a guy, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" What is a response that you're looking for? And if they respond with a "I don't know," is that a red flag for you at all? As we're talking about living life and being purpose driven, is that like a red flag, or is it okay to not know?
This somebody's gonna come for me for this, but I think okay. So I was having a side note conversation with one of my friends, and she was saying, with guys, you need a -7 years, right, for their maturity level. Because with us, I'll give you a long list of things. I think it's important for us to be open-minded when we ask that question, because if they say I don't know, maybe you need to dig a little bit deeper. Is it a turn off? I mean, to the average female, yes, because it's like, so you have no plans, like not even tomorrow, like you don't have anything you can talk about. But I think it's important for, even if that person says I don't know, to kind of unpack it a little bit. Maybe they didn't understand the question. I'm hoping.
Where do you
Um,
see yourself in 5 years? If he doesn't understand that simple question, we have a bigger problem on our hand. But continue on.
no, but for sure. I don't think we should, because you know what? People get thrown off when you ask them questions on the spot. So we shouldn't truly discount them, right? Maybe give them a few moments and be like, you really don't know? Or did I, say it in a way that you feel like, oh, I need to tell you in 5 years I want to get married, in 5 years I want to buy a car. No, that's not what we're asking. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I'm throwing the question back to you right now, Amanda. If a guy
I was about to do
says,
that.
I
I
don't
was about to
know.
do this to you. I was about to ask you the question. She done beat me to the punch. If someone asks me, where do I see myself in 5 years? I may not know all things, but one thing that I know for sure is that growth is extremely important to me. Growth and progress. And even like when I have my annual birthdays and I do reflection, many of us we might get depressed saying I'm older. I don't got no child. I don't got no husband. I don't got all this extra stuff, right? We tend to look at all of these things that we don't have. But I start looking for areas of growth. And if I'm in a better place in a specific area, it could just be one area that you grew tremendously in this area, I think is worthwhile. So in 5 years, I see growth for me. in different areas. Like, I desire to be married. I'm hoping in 5 years I don't snatch me up a boo thing. Like 5 years, I'm gonna be 30, closer to my 40s. So I'm hoping that I don't snatch up my little boo thing. If not, if it's the will of the Father, I like him 6 foot and tall, broad shoulders, full beard. If you know somebody that's single and ready to mingle, send them to my what? I must put it out.
We're gonna. That ad comes to you from Amanda, right? That's what she's looking for. Okay, Kurt.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 6 foot and up, love and broad shoulders, a nice full beard, smelling good, and love the Lord. My sisters say I'm vain, but I keep telling that the Lord understands my vanity. But you gotta love the Lord to have a relationship. That's understood. But 6 foot, nice full beard, broad shoulders, single, like women, send them to me. Okay, but anyways, 5 years from now, I'm hoping that I snatch me a cute boo thing. Career wise, I definitely should be on a different path. I'm hoping that my businesses would have been more established by then. I have been moving a lot more in ministry, which is a privilege and honor. So I see a lot more demand in that area. Hopefully, in 5 years, I would have accomplished a good amount of things in that area pertaining to ministry, that I might take on more of a role of a mentor to some that are up and coming, where you're getting poured into, but you're pouring out, and I think that's it. So growth. I'm hoping that there's some progress in the relationship area. Um, Career wise, I can see that I should not be in the same role that I am in. So, I'm graduating school this year. I'm getting my CPA in a few months. So definitely there should be some expansion in that area. And then a deeper relationship with the Father for sure. I want my spiritual walk to be at a different altitude. Definitely, it should be at a different altitude in 5 years. Even today, when I was having my private time with the Father, today he says, within me, there's no bounds and there's no limitation. So there should always be a perpetual growth in that area. See, God be talking smooth to me, he kind of talking stuff to me. So that's where I see myself in 5 years. How about yourself?
I love it. I love it. Definitely trajectory of growth, right? I don't want to be stuck anywhere, and I say that with a strong. Definitely growth in the area of spiritual. I definitely want a closer walk with God. I want from my family, because we always worry about like every single thing that really is not our doing. But I want for them to be a lot better, so that the things that are coming, it's actually easier to unpack, right? It's more gifts rather than, oh my goodness, like this has to be done, that has to be done. But definitely I see lots and lots and lots of growth, lots of love, me loving on people in another 5 years, even those who, there's a reason the Father told us to prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. No, I'm just kidding. But no, definitely lots of love, lots of growth, lots of being able to help people. Like I want, like you said, being a mentor. I want to empower people, right? Like from as long back as I can remember, and just like reflection wise, I've always wanted to change the trajectory of healthcare and the way people learn about food. And at one point I was like, I want nothing to do with policies, but that's where you need to kind of start. So maybe I'm going to be up there with, I want to say something, but let me not before. With Madam VP, okay?
Put it in the wind. Put it in the wind. Put it in the wind. I'll be right there with you, because my dream job is to work for the Congressional Budget Office. You over there doing your thing, I'll be over here counting the money. So I put it out there in the wind. Put it out there in the wind.
Amen. But yeah, definitely 5 years. Shoot, we couldn't even start by tomorrow. Let's go. You know what I mean? There's so many things that I want to build from where they are, because you're supposed to start with a foundation and build the house. So I want a big, beautiful house, Amanda. That's what
Absolutely.
I'm saying. Tons of flowers around it.
Absolutely. I'm in agreement. One thing I've learned is that we all have dreams and hopes, right? And I think some of those dreams are godly divine. And today I was watching a person preach a sermon. The title was Enemies of Righteousness. But they were talking about when the Father gives us instructions and to do certain things. Um, where many of us we don't move in it because of fear.
Yeah.
And what he said was so profound, because he was saying when God, please don't let me butcher this sermon, but he was saying when he had sent them to go spy out the land, he said that God never made mention that there were giants in there. He never made mention that they were going to come across giants. But he told them that there was a land that I prepared for you and your descendants and all these beautiful things. But he never made mention of giants occupying that space. And if you know the scripture, they came back and there was a group that reported saying, yo, there's some big giants over there. And there became this fear. And what the pastor was saying is basically many of us, we don't move forward because we start to become preoccupied with things that we weren't created to combat. These things that was God's portion to deal with. And some of us, I feel holy. I feel a wind. I feel a wind. But many of us, we don't move forward because we are distracted by focusing on the portion that God is in charge of taking care of, rather than you focusing on the piece that you're in charge of taking care of. It was such a profound word. And so I'm saying, even with these goals, these dreams, desires, write them down. And it says faith without works is dead. So you gotta roll your sleeves up a little bit and
let's go.
And I'm in a season with the Father where he says, you focus on your part. This is partnership. We are partnering with Holy Spirit, partnering with the Creator. And sometimes God is saying, I need you to do your part because I got my part. And many of us, we don't move forward because we're worried about the part that God is taken care of. We're like, well, this is impossible. And God is like, the impossible part is my part. So you focus on your, I hope I'm saying this right. But he's saying the impossible part is God's part. You need to focus on the part that he gave to you. So some of us, he told you to write it down. We still ain't write it down.
Make a visual if you need to. You know, sometimes people can't write. Make a visual of it.
A vision board, whatever you need to do to document it in black and white. Some of us, he gave us instructions saying, I need you to write this outline for this book. I'm just being very practical. And then many of us, we're focusing on, well, God, how are we going to produce it? How are we going to get it out to the masses? And God is like, no. I need you to do your part and let's worry about the rest. And I believe once we start walking through life in that manner, peace will become such our portion, because now you know God got me. That's one thing God always said to me. He's like, I got your back, Amanda. I got your back. Because, it's fearful, especially when you're dealing with big visions, especially if you're a pioneer in your family. We're the first one stepping out. That thing can be very intimidating and fearful, but you got to remember that you got a relationship with the Father and that he got your back. What do you think about that?
Definitely. As you were speaking, there's a reason why he says that he wants our heavy burdens and he will give us rest. Take the rest. Go sit there and take the rest. Right?
Take the rest.
I'm thinking of Psalms when you were talking, right? Where it talks about us being still. And in order for you to get that direction of where you're supposed to head, or am I being obedient, you have to be still. Even Exodus 14:14 talks about being still. And sometimes we don't understand that, right? We think we have to pick everything up and carry it. And he's like, no, I need you to hear me clearly. And the only way you're going to hear me clearly is if you be still. Be still.
That's so profound. I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation. As you know, this is Living Single and Safe, and we love building a community, and we love to promote everyone that is someone, which is you, because everyone is someone. And everyone, I always tell people, as long as you have a vision and as long as you have breath in your body, You are important. So because of that, we love to have featured artists. We're going to feature today none other than our very own TJ with Sovereign God. If you have not purchased this song, he will be on later on. But if you have not purchased this song, you need to go and purchase it today. So this is TJ with Sovereign God. And after that, we're going to have Steffi with our nutritional tip of the month. So listen to this phenomenal artistry, I hope that's the word, in none other than TJ with Sovereign God. And we will be right back.
Come on, we serve an able God. Our God sits on the throne, and our God is sovereign. God, you are holy, and we kneel down before thee. In power and majesty, Lord, you reign. God, you are holy, and we kneel down before thee. Yes. In power and majesty, Lord, you reign. We bow down before thee. In power and Lord, you reign. Come on. God, you are holy, and we bow down before in power and Lord, you reign. And there is no battle too hard for you, my you're Alpha, Omega, beginning and end. So give you praise, sovereign God. So we bow down before you, our King, in the presence of your sovereignty. We worship your majesty, and we crown you King. In your presence, we worship you, and we crown you King. Yeah. So we in your presence, we worship you. Yes, we do. And we crown you King. Somebody lift your voice. We crown you with our words. From the depths of our heart, we crown you King. Come on, lift your words. We crown you Lord. From the depths of our hearts, we crowned you King. We crowned you King. We crowned you King, Lord. Yes. We crowned. Come on, y'all, help me say right here. We crowned you King. Sovereign God.
Hello, beautiful people. Okay, so I haven't done a nutrition tip in a while, and Amanda was like, let's go ahead and give the people a nutrition tip. So it's about to be fall, and then after fall, winter. And so we start thinking immunity. And you might be asking yourself, how can you be building up your immunity? Well, let's start from the basics, right? You need to make sure that you have a balanced diet that includes fruits and vegetables. You have to start out with that. You need to also make sure that you are taking the right amount of proteins. When you think of fruits and vegetables, there's a reason why I'm telling you guys to get a wide variety of it. Make your plate as colorful as possible, because you need to make sure that you're getting your vitamin A, your vitamin D, your vitamin E, your vitamin K. Not so much E, but those things are very important. And then your vitamin D and calcium, because we want strong bones, strong muscles. We want the works, right? And so think about it this way. You can do all that great stuff, but you also need to make sure that you're supplementing it correctly. Before we got started, Amanda, I was asking her, okay, so are you taking your multivitamins? And she said, yes. And I thought she was popping on here with me for a quick second, but she didn't. But one thing you need to take into consideration, if you ever hear that you're low in iron, it means that you're either not getting enough citrus. So they go together. Iron and citrus go together. So you make sure that you're taking those two things together. When we think of calcium, if you ever see the older people and they say they have osteomalacia or basically bone disease, as we want to call it, or even the little kids, you hear that they have rickets. It's because they're not getting enough calcium, and calcium and vitamin D go together. So we need to think of those things. I can go on for days, but very important. I do also want to make sure that it's mind, body, right? That you are getting enough rest. It is very important that you get enough sleep. Sleep is something that will break down your immunity if you do not get enough of it. So it's very important that, if you're having a busy life and schedule, quite like we all do, right? This is not the days of the pandemic when we got to stay home and just rest all day. So if you have a busy life, take those couple minutes so that you're able to breathe for a second and get yourself back. Also, stress. You have to manage your stress level, because if you do not, stress can actually affect your immunity, believe it or not. And then the fun thing that nobody wants to hear me say, you have to exercise, right? You have to exercise. You have to at least walk 30 minutes a day. Or I gave previous tips in the other episodes. Take your remote and place it 5 to 10 feet away from you. So every time you need to change the channel, you have to get up to get it. Small things and small steps like that will make sure that this flu season, even if you get the shots, you're not getting sick. We have to be even more mindful, because COVID is still present, even though people don't want to talk about it. So zinc is very important, but zinc and iron don't go together. So if you're taking your zinc pills because you think you're losing taste or you just want to prep up on it, that's great. But make sure that you're taking it not at the same time as you are taking iron. When you take the iron, make sure you take it with vitamin C or citrus. That's my little nutrition tip. We can go more in depth, but I don't want to labor for too long. And so I just want to say, be well. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to learn more about how you can stay on top of your nutrition health.
If you desire to grow in the area of intercession, sign up for the School of Intercession today. Take your prayer life to a higher level. The School of Intercession is a free 4-week course that teaches individuals how to develop an intimate relationship with God. Reserve your spot today by visiting our website at www.latterrainapww.org. Latter Rain, Apostolic Worldwide Prayer Hub, has partnered with Micah Stuckey Ministries to bring to you Preach, Preacher Preach. This is a 5-week course to teach ministerial leaders how to effectively develop and deliver impactful sermons. Sign up today by visiting www.latterrainapww.org and reserve your spot today.
Welcome back, Steffi. Thank you so much for that beautiful nutritional tip of the month. We did have someone that asked a question, and I'm going to ask a follow-up question too as well.
I did not.
Yeah, we're going to, because I knew we were going to talk about it a little bit more. Someone asked, how can we do vitamin D or take vitamin D if we are allergic to dairy?
So dairy, okay, if you're allergic to dairy, you know, a lot of people are doing these nuts. They don't necessarily have dairy in them. And when you think of calcium, calcium comes in different sources. It's not just milk. So you have things like your nuts that you can have, which is why you see on a lot of the shelves that they have cashew milk now. You have almond milk. All those things do have calcium in it, right? And if I misspoke and didn't say calcium and vitamin D together, forgive me.
Vitamin D. Vitamin
I did.
I think that person might, because dairy you get from calcium. Yep. Yep. And calcium. Then also outdoors, if it's really vitamin D, doesn't go outside, getting some sun rays.
I was about to say, for melanated people, if you spend 30 minutes in the sun, it's not enough, but at least 30 minutes a day will give you vitamin D. It's harder during the winter time, of course, because for those of us who live in not so tropical areas, it's going to be very cold and gloomy most of those days. But definitely you can, as people say, store up a vitamin D during the summer if you can. For non-melanated people, they can spend less than 30 minutes and be good. But for us melanated people, we have to at least get 30 minutes a day.
It's so interesting that this person talked about vitamin D, because I just recently went and got my blood work done. Well, you know, I've been trying to avoid getting it done, and my I really have. I was supposed to get it done 3 months ago, and this past week I have to check in with my doctor every 4 weeks. And this past week when I was there, I just so happened that I did not eat that day, and they was like, "Did you eat today?" I'm like, "No." They was like, "You're gonna get your blood work done today." And vitamin D, I'm normally almost grossly deficient in vitamin D, but I was pleasant to know that I was not. I was like, I made it, like right at tippy tip normal.
Fun fact though, Mandy. 90% of the people are vitamin D deficient. So don't feel too bad. And you said something that was very, very, very important. It is very important for you to go ahead and get your blood work done. It's the only way that you can determine which vitamins or minerals you're lacking. And more importantly, the importance of knowing, you know, is my body balancing all of these nutrients correctly? If I sit and eat 10 eggs, am I getting only protein from it?
Don't shake, because I was going to tell my business. So there were 3 things that came back on my chart. I'm telling y'all my business. You know, this is so against HIPAA, but I'm telling my own business, so it's fine. I need to drink more water. I'm iron deficient. So I remember you mentioned about coupling them. So we'll come back to that. Iron deficient. And then cholesterol. They said overall my cholesterol is normal, but the bad one, the LCL, LDA, and you see, it's one of them initials. They said it's high. So with that being said, how from a dietary standpoint what foods can I eat to increase my iron? My cholesterol and all that stuff. So, you know, because you mentioned coupling together, and no one knows that I'm not supposed to eat this vitamin or that vitamin. I take them all at one time. So what am I supposed to do?
So if you're doing a multivitamin, if you look at the back of it, they have it in the right amounts that it's supposed to be. But they have to leave some things out, which most people won't tell you that. Like if you do iron, then it's going to affect your if you do iron, it's going to affect your calcium and your vitamin D levels, because those 2 things go together. But iron goes with citrus. So a lot of times they'll encourage you, if you're having, you know, citrus beverages, then take your iron pills. If you're not on iron pills and you want to increase your iron, you can basically do things like green and leafy vegetables, right? You can go ahead and make sure that you're eating meat. Red meat typically has more iron in it. Pretty sure we all learned that in primary or middle school, depending on where you're from, right? But
we learned it, but we forgot it. We learned it, but we forgot it. It's so far removed.
But yeah, just make sure that you are pairing those two things together. And then I say that there's some things that are contraindicated. So one of those things that is contraindicated is your vitamin D levels and your calcium levels if you take too much zinc, right? So there's some foods that are high in zinc. Again, meats, which go with iron. See where I'm going with this? Those two kind of go together. So it's important for us to just be mindful of how we're taking these things in. And a lot of the times, your food, the reason why a lot of dietitians or RDs or nutritionists will stress to have a balanced diet is because your food actually can give you those levels and you don't need the multivitamin.
Mhm.
But for those people who I only eat protein, or I need to build some muscle, so I'm only taking protein, you're going to be deficient in these vitamins and minerals. And so that's why we say, hey, go ahead and just take a multivitamin. It's never too terrible, honestly.
This is like so complicated. It's like it feels like it's a whole balancing act. Okay, if you're gonna do your vitamin C, don't take that with this. If you're gonna do that, like this is like very complicated. It's complicated. But if you're someone that you say, I need to really get my diet under control. I really need to be more mindful of my nutrition. Like I was saying to someone the other day, because I am traveling a lot. I used to be a little bit vain, just a little bit. I wanted to lose weight so I could look cute. So I could look cute. So I could have my little body together, whatever. But now my emphasis now is losing weight to become healthy so that my body is in a certain kind of condition to be able to handle the demands of life and this new lifestyle. So if you're someone that you said, what, I have not been that strong in this area, and you, like Steffi said earlier, we're getting into the fall season. People tend to get a lot sicker in the fall and winter season. And if we be honest, it's like the 10 plagues has descended upon the earth. Every other day I look at the news, it's a new virus. You got the COVID and it never left. You got the monkeypox. You got this EEE now. I don't know if y'all heard of that one. That's brought by mosquito. You also have the bubonic plague. Yep, that was spotted in a few states over. Yesterday, I saw they said the polio is back. They're running to vaccinate people for polio. I mean, every single day, it's a new virus, and I'm losing count on a different virus that's going on there. It's amazing. I feel like we're in Egypt with the 10 plagues, and Moses done said, "Hey, I'm coming over here." It feels that way because there's so many different things that are going on. So it's so important for us to really prioritize our immune system. So if you're someone that says, okay, I don't know nothing about this nutrition, this is not a strong area. As you can see, Steffi is very knowledgeable for that. She's well studied, well capable, well altitude. How can they get a hold of you if someone wants to schedule a session to go more in depth? Because we know it's not a one size fit all. Some things are very unique to that individual. How can they get a hold of you?
So I always say follow Heavenly Hands West Indian Cuisine on Instagram. I'll give you guys my phone number. I hate doing this, but
no, don't give your number out on the internet. Are you crazy?
Business number. I'm not that.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and follow the page, because they might not call me for business. Now that you say that, thank you very much. And then just reach out to me that way, because on there is a website. You can basically go click on the link, because I don't want to drop all that right now. But yeah, definitely feel free to reach out. I'm, as you guys can tell, a plethora of knowledge, if you want to put it that way, and it gives me practice skills for my nutrition counseling. So feel free to reach out. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, and what we'll do is that we'll post the link after we're done. We'll post up the videos of this excerpt so that you guys can have it for reference. But we really have to get our immune and our physical body in condition.
I was going to say too, Mandy, I'm not, I'm about elevating other people and empowering other people. So if you don't even feel comfortable coming to me, you can reach out to your nutritionists and dietitians. Most doctors do have them in their offices.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big push for the field, because, and my friends who are doctors are going to kill me for saying this, but a lot of the times they don't know, they don't have the knowledge that a nutritionist or a dietitian, specifically a dietitian, registered dietitian, may have to break it down for you, right? Because you said it's
Yeah.
complex. It's not complex. There's no one puzzle piece fitting every puzzle. So
Mhm.
that's the whole thing, is that I need to know you as an individual so that I can give you advice that is specific for Amanda, or I need to know you as an individual so I can give you advice that is specific to you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So reach out to Steffi. We're going to get our nutrition together so that we don't have to pray a little bit hard for you to recover. You know, that's one less prayer we have to worry about if we just, no, faith without works is death. Many
This
of
is
us, especially when we're sick, we be like, Lord, touch me. And what I'm learning is that a lot of the illness that we encounter, if we were eating properly, if we were taking care of the one, you only got one body, taking care of the temple that the Father had given unto you, and done preventative measure, we don't have to search for a cure. And I'm a big believer in holistic wellness. I am such a big believer. I'd rather eat myself healthy than have to take a pill. So if we can do some preventative work and get our diet together, I know it's hard. You know, I have a sweet tooth. I love me some good old chocolate. Even just 2 days ago, I pigged out, but I was proud of myself last week because I had all salads and I was so proud of myself. But I know it's hard. And even a good dietitian is going to tell you, you don't have to not eat anything. You just have to be balanced. You just got to be balanced. So
you
reach out.
balance.
Balance.
Because like you said something, Manny, I'm gonna go from this after that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think I have to only eat salads, or I have to only, no. What we're saying to you is be mindful. I think mindful eating is very powerful. If your body is craving cheesecake, go grab that cheesecake, because there's something in there that it may need. It might very well need the vitamin, the calcium, or the vitamin D that's gonna come from that cheesecake. So go get it.
You're so truthful, because I was talking to my doctor this past week, and one thing I was talking to her about working out, and I was saying because I was not eating enough, I did not have the energy to work out. But then I also told her that, you know, I also find myself having craving for sweets, and she was saying to me, "Oh, that's because your blood sugar dropped very low." So I'm saying that to say your body is so intelligent that without you being aware, when you start craving certain things, it's an man, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. When you start craving certain thing, that's your body indicating that I have a deficit. And now the question is, how are you going to satisfy that deficit? What are you going to eat to satisfy that deficit? So for me, if I have a sweet tooth and I'm craving sugar because my blood sugar done drop low, well, rather than running to the bakery to get all the cookies in the world and all the cupcakes and then all the brownies and having me a smorgasbord, I'm trying to be mindful and say, well, you can satisfy that sweet tooth by getting some fruit in your system and getting the sugar from there. Don't I sound like I'm on my way, guys? I'm on my way. I tell you, come next year when I hit my weight loss goal, I tell people weight loss is like spotting Bigfoot. When I hit my weight loss goal, I'm on my way. I'm learning. So reach out to Stephanie. Reach out to Stephanie.
Absolutely. I'm so proud. So proud. Yeah, mindful eating is very, very, very important, irrespective of what people tell you. And you have things, like you said, Mandy, fruits. People be like, but no, it's going to satisfy that sweet tooth. Trust me,
Yeah.
it will. It will.
It will. And the last tip I'll say is, don't feel pressure to have to fix everything in one shot.
No.
Just fix this one area. If you know you need to drink a little bit of water, focus on drinking the water. Let that become a part of your lifestyle. And then gradually change or incorporate some of these healthy habits. So reach out to Steffi for more details. We got to get our bodies together for the next. To get it to next. But we've been talking about, I hope you guys been enjoying this conversation. Our main topic today is talking about purpose and making sure that we are tracking and that we are on target to making sure that you are accomplishing everything the Father sets out. And if we be honest, some of us may have gotten a little bit distracted, or some of us may have allowed fear to grip us where we didn't move forward. I can be transparent. God has been prophesying about moving in the area of getting an album done. Child, I tell you the anxiety that kicked in because I was like, oh, I don't know where to start. Like, how you do an album? Like, who do you contact? Like, what in the world? And then to couple it, things started happening because I'm talking about moving and living on purpose. Every time I scheduled a studio session, something happened. Like at one time, my hand started hurting, so I couldn't play the piano for 4 weeks. And then after that got resolved, the day that I was supposed to go in the studio, my producer at the time had double booked himself. He was like, Amanda, I'm so sorry, I gotta go into work and blah blah blah. And then that day I happened to be home, my house got caught on fire. So it just was like these different things started happening. So I started doing a pause. I was like, okay, God, you want me to do this album? Yeah, like I'm trying, but stuff
Pay that attention.
plays. And then I started getting anxiety because I'm like, people are like, you got to get it done this year. And I'm like, ooh. But like I said earlier, you do your part and let God do his part. And I am just in amazement of how God, I don't know, he might have just waved his hand. I don't know what God did, but suddenly things are starting to fall into place. And it could have just been maybe there was an area I might have been walking in disobedience and did not realize that. Or it could have been that I was trying to do it in my own strength. And God is saying, no, I want you to trust me. It's my album. I am putting this together. I'm saying God is putting this together. And maybe God is like, I need you to just depend on me and let me put the work in. So I'm saying for those that have these vision, have these dreams, and you might have dropped it or you might have gotten fear, might have stopped you. I'm saying pick it up because I do believe we are in a season. There's something profound about 2024. I still think there is a grace upon this year to accomplish that which you weren't able to accomplish in the last 10 years, the last 15 years. And even though we have 4 months left, I am telling you that there is a wind on 2024 to start moving and accomplishing that. What you think about that, Stephanie?
I was about to say, let me just confirm this for you, okay?
Mhm.
If you don't move when he tells you to move, he's going to find everything going wrong to make you move. He's
Yeah.
going to place everything. Trust me right now. You see that uncomfortability? You have to be uncomfortable, right? You have to
Mhm.
be uncomfortable. And I said, and you brought it back up again. In our weaknesses, he is made strong.
Wrong.
So if you're not going to allow yourself to be weak, if you're not going to allow yourself to be still, something's going to. And you don't want that thing to have to be what pushes you. Listen, be obedient now. Just go ahead and do it. I'm telling you guys because I could give you a testimony right now. I am so uncomfortable. I'm not going to say where, right? But I know why. It's because I'm supposed to be helping people. I'm supposed to be using this degree that I spent a gosh darn 4 years, a whole additional month in an internship for. But I'm like, man, I want to help these people. And I like see that I can empower them and I can help them grow. But they don't even appreciate it. So you know what? He's like, no, that you're off track. Be still. Be still in this moment so that I can get you where I want you. Because your purpose is bigger. It's bigger, guys. It's bigger.
It's bigger.
Don't take it for the now. Like now you're comfortable, yes. He gonna make you uncomfortable. You have to
Beautiful.
be comfortable.
He does. And I think God does that because he wants us to depend on him,
Yeah.
right? And we serve such a great God that he still says, in all these things that I've given you to do, I don't want you to be mistaken and thinking it's you doing it in your own ability because you don't want to steal the glory for yourself. So the Father will put you in situations where you have to say, nothing
Take it.
but God that did that. And I'm also in a season where I'm learning, and I know it's easier said than done, that even in the uncomfortable situations, were not created to worry. We were not created to live in fear. That is not what the Father wants. I always picture myself as like a baby. God always wants us in the palm of his hand. And if he says, if you give it to me and you hand it over to me, there is such a level of peace that comes along with that. And to really walk in this place, even when fear grips you, to walk in this level of peace is being able to know the word as it pertains to activating your faith. There are many times I have these conversations with God saying, I don't know how this is going to work out, but you said. So that because you said that, I know that you're going to make this happen. And that's the posture that I think we have to really take, even in those moments of being uncomfortable.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Amanda, let me try to deliver this the way I hear it, okay? So I was thinking as you're talking, like I'm listening to you, but I'm also listening. You know that song, and Mama, I'm kind of little thing. Mandy, we were supposed to go see Samuel Medes today. I didn't realize it was the same day, but he said something in that strength video, and it just popped back into my remembrance, right? Stronger, yeah. I keep saying strength. I don't know why, but it's the strength of the Lord right now. In that stronger video where, you know, he said in this season, I might not quote it correctly, so y'all don't come for me if y'all hear that song over and over again, right? But in this season, you know, while we're getting that pruning and that processing, you're not going to be comfortable. And I didn't understand. I listened to that song, and every time I listened to that song, some other nugget dropped. It's not until I'm in this uncomfortable state right now, do those words sink through and through to me, that I understand that as you're pruning and as you're processing, because if y'all remember back in the day in Latter Rain, I used to be asking for fire. I want fire. Father, I want you to use fire on me like you do on gold that is just a piece of stone, and turn it into this shiny thing, right? In so many words. And now that the fire is coming, you're going to be asking yourself, oh my gosh, like, is this truly what I want? No. What is it that you want from me, Father? I think is how we should structure that, because it's not what you want. It's going to be so much bigger. What was that song? Big? I can't remember.
Big.
It's gonna be big, okay? You're not even gonna be ready or prepared for what is about to come. So allow this grace that you got right now. Mandy said this is the year of grace to complete stuff. Allow it to actually do what it needs to do. If you don't be looking back in 2025 saying, I had this one moment, I had this thing. Don't beat yourself up either, because we have a great God that will still turn it around for you, but use the now. What? Allow fear to fuel you. I used to say that when I was younger too. Allow fear to fuel you. If you need to stand in front of a crowd of 2 in order to stand in front of a crowd of 10,000, go ahead and stand in front of that crowd of 2 for a while. Because when you get to the point that you get 10,000, I want you to remember that moment when you couldn't stand in front of 2. Is basically what I'm saying to you, because it's going to be a reach back type thing where you're like, ooh, I want something, but I have to start small. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Allow yourself. What's the topic you chose? To be purpose driven. What's the purpose for now, right? You have a purpose, even if you don't think you do. Like, think about the seedlings. I'm pretty sure they didn't think they were turning into big, beautiful trees.
That's true. This is beautiful. That's a good segue into our second featured artist. Since she mentioned it, this is Sammy Medes, Stronger. Love upon us by sharing, liking, putting a comment. Hope you're enjoying this conversation. This is Sammy with Stronger. We will be.
I didn't know you were going to do that. That's funny.
Come to realize the changes in my life are for a reason. Every season, every pain, why? Come to a conclusion. You're making me stronger. These trials, no, they can't just be coincidence, love. You're making me wiser. Full time I open up my eyes and see that the pain is making me better. Work and process, bring it that you got me. Could there not have been an easier way? I pray. Could I see an easier day? I got this hurt from where my trust was betrayed. How much longer will my blessings delay? And you say run to your ear, we're heavy laden. I wonder if you ever heard when I prayed. You tell me the thoughts you have are good and they are female. You tell me the things that look quite good when you are finished. You said the next season of my life there'll be no limit, and the fourth man in the fire ain't no gimmick. These things they are making me stronger. These trials no they cannot be coincidence, Lord. You're making me wiser. Full time I open up my heart and see that the pain is making me better. Urgent process, bringing out my best. You're taking me higher than unexpected. There's unexpected. Me coulda never know what they inside of me unless you pass me through the testing. You trying to give me a quick air and a slow tongue and a big heart and show me that your patience is the best thing. So I will give thanks to you and humble my heart. Heights and depths, you promise peace and rest. You promise I'll be blessed. But right now is the season you are making me stronger. These trials, no, they cannot be coincidence, Lord. You're making me wiser. Full time I open up my heart and see that the pain is making me better. Urgent process, you're bringing out the best. You're taking me higher to unexpected. Oh God, you are my daddy, you are my friend, you are my strength and you may depend. Feeling like Daniel in the den, but you're my beginning and you know my end. And when me fall, and when me cry, you make me right. You try my eye, you make me great. When me don't feel it, you feel my pain and you're gonna heal it. Then one day me realize the pain don't hurt like it used to. My life is full of blessing and it's because I choose to lean on the earth for lasting. I'm the enemy, me never lose to. I'm holding on and me no one lose you. Jesus, you are making me strong. Making me wiser. Open up my eyes, open up my eyes. You're making me better. What you have for me, I'm not quite ready, but you're taking me higher, higher. Oh, Jesus, you are making me stronger. These trials, no, they cannot be coincidence, Lord. You're making me wiser. The pretty enemy, spot my destiny, and you're making me better. Cause who I must be broken and survive the next season. You're taking me higher. There's an expected end for me. Oh, I've come to realize the changes in my life are for a reason. Orchestrated by you, God. They're orchestrated by you, God. Woo. Yahweh. Oh, God, you're the glory and you're the lifter of our heads. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for every person that's listening to this record now, that you would let them know that what the enemy meant for evil, what the enemy meant to use to take them out, that you are turning it around for good, and that the pain was necessary. And God, and what they're going through right now is the power of the testimony in the next season. Father, I pray that they would understand that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and it's not even entered into their imagination, the things that you have prepared for them, not just in heaven, but here on earth. Father, let them be encouraged that for the next season, for the next level, for the next realm, that they would understand that there is a processing and there's a pruning and there's a stripping away, and it might feel uncomfortable, but God, in the end, Father, in the end, you're raising them up. Father, in the end, you're making them new. Father, in the end, you're causing them to walk in such a level of grace and anointing and wisdom, God, and strength that they've never experienced before. For you know the thoughts that you think towards us, God. They're good and not of evil, and they're to bring us to an expected end. And we will call upon your name, and you will always answer us. In Jesus' name.
Hi, family. I hope you're having
having a wonderful day. I'm just coming to invite each and every one of you to come and hang out with me this weekend. I am hosting the Prepare for Your Next Budget webinar. That will be this Saturday, September 7th at 10 a.m. where we're going to discuss all things budgets. We're going to talk about the benefits. We are also going to talk about developing strategic, smart financial goals, and then we're going to actually build a budget together. I believe we're in a season where we really need to master how to handle our finances. So if you're available, sign up today. It's September 7th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely free. Somebody say free. Completely free, completely free. Come and hang out with us September 7th at 10 a.m. The link is in the description, and I'll see you then. Bye. So come on out.
I love it. You
Thank
guys heard it. It's completely free. We need to go there.
So come on out, hang out with me this Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, 7 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What happened is that I hosted a few budget webinars last year, and this year everyone has been bothering me saying, oh, Amanda, I need to get my finances together. So I'm doing it again this Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know, a lot of you guys may know me as the worshiper, but professionally, I work in finance. I am going to take this 16-hour to get my CPA soon, and I'm excited. But we are in a season where it is so important and so extremely necessary for us to get our finances in order. It is completely free, as I said. So meet me on Saturday to go to for the Prepare for the Next Budget webinar. As the commercial said, we're going to be discussing the benefits of budget, developing financial goals, and we're going to be creating an actual budget 1 hour out of your time to get your finances in order. So that will be this Saturday. You can go to DixonFinancialServiceGroup.com and register today. It is completely completely free to do that. So that's my little spiel. That's my giving back to the community to help someone out. So there's a couple of announcements I got to make, and then we're going to do a roundtable as we are getting ready to close. So we do have quite a few things going on at Latter Rain. We are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and soon to be Sundays, where we meet in the morning for prayer. So if you're someone that you need a place to come together, there's a group of intercession that are meeting on Clubhouse Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for prayer. But also, we are starting this week with the School of Intercession. We are also starting Preach, Preacher, Preach next week, Monday. So if you're someone that's interested in finding more information, go to latterrainapww.org. We have also been traveling. Oh, see, my phone went off, so that means someone is registering. So we're also traveling a lot. I will be singing or ministering at the March for Witness parade. That will be in New York on September 14th. A group of us will be going to North Carolina. I believe that's September 26th to the 29th. At the end of the month, we are going to go to the I Am Enough conference, and we're caravanning down there. We're going to North Carolina to pack the place out. So if you want to come and hang out with us, we come and we're loud and rambunctious, but people love us. They were like, who is that over there? So we that's us. We are that group. We're the loud ones. They were like, where do these people come from? Everywhere we go, where y'all come from is what people say. So we're the ones that come in with all this joy and loudness and happiness for the Lord. So if you're in the North Carolina area, we have people coming from all over. Even Pastor Cindy, they're in Philadelphia, and she was like, I'm coming. We have people from Texas coming. So we're coming from all over, meeting in North Carolina. That's September 26th to 29th at the I Am Enough conference that's being hosted by Apostle Nicole Gibbs and Apostle Nicole Gibbs. phenomenal gathering of saints. We went last year and we were like, we're going back next year. So it's that good. If it wasn't that good, we wouldn't be going back this year. But I'm telling you, it's that good that we was like, we're going next year. We don't care what happened. We're going next year. So we're excited about that. And we also want to put it on your radar. We have Pancake and Pajamas. That's coming up in December. We went last year. We had fun. We were in the hotel, running around in our... Stephanie was there, running around in our pajamas, playing games, worshiping. And then they just so happened to have a men ministry that was having a prayer conference across the hallway, and a few of us ladies got lost on the way to the room. I'm guilty. I took the long way to our conference room, walking around, looking in, and just, walking slowly, hoping that maybe my Boaz was in the next room learning how to pray. So that was a phenomenal experience. So that's happening in December. See, Steffi's laughing because she was there witnessing the tomfoolery. I surely was walking around with my keyboard, hoping that somebody would come out with some strong muscles to help me with my keyboard. Prophetess Giselle is probably praying for me. She's like, Lord, touch her, touch her, touch her. But that's happening again in December 6th. I hope Pastor Cindy called that other ministry to make sure that the men are going to be where we're going to be again, because that was actually cute. A couple of us got lost. So meet us in person. If you say we like those people, we're going to be having a lot of meetings in person. Follow us on latterrainapww.org so you can stay in the know of all the beautiful events that is happening, and just pick one of them. We're going to be in a city near you eventually, and we can't wait to meet some of you in person.
I love it. I'm sorry. I was having flashbacks. That's all.
Steffi was watching me. I probably said she was judging me. I didn't care. I was like walking around my keyboard, acting like I was struggling, hoping that somebody would look my direction to help me with my keyboard. But they was too busy talking to the Father, so they didn't see me. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't want to upstage the Lord. They was there to pray, and I was like, well, just look to my way, look to my direction. But they didn't look. They was too busy praying to the Lord.
See? So maybe next time he's gonna. Okay.
So those are our announcements for this week. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. We're wrapping it up. Any final comments? Anything you want to leave the people with, Steffi?
You see, I just said to you before I even knew that you were gonna play Sam. Everything we talked about today was in that song. That's kind of scary. I'm sorry.
It's so amazing how music can just capture the essence. And I'll say this is my last promo. If you are an up-and-coming artist and you say I have some new music out and you would like to be featured, hit us up. We will be so honored to feature you on this platform. We believe in promoting you. We believe in pushing you forward. We have a few, like you guys saw Leon a couple of times. He's coming out with new music. I hope that TJ is working on new music. I'm pretty sure he is. I'm working on music. So, it's a musical bunch. Steffi might be working on music. She just don't know. Maybe she'll hit a triangle or something. But it's a musical bunch. So if you're someone that has music out and you like to be featured, we will be honored to feature you on this platform. Just send us an email to info@latterrainapww.org and we will get that done. So last comments, purpose-driven life, Steffi. Last comment, last takeaway that you can give to someone that might need.
Continue doing what you're doing. Don't feel like I need to be 10 steps ahead, etc. Make sure that whatever you do, that you're humble. If you're not humble while you're doing it, you're going to be humbled. So you might as well be humble doing it. Okay. Continue to use this beautiful gift of smiling and loving on other people. Like, it will take you very far, even though sometimes it feels hard. That song right there, you're in a processing and pruning. That uncomfortability is supposed to happen. It's not the nicest thing, but it's God's way of saying, I got you. Like, I need you to be still, wait in this moment, give me the burden. I want the burden. Stop trying to carry it yourself. But definitely just, keep going. Go back through that list. There might be some tweaks. There might be some things that you have to complete, right? And give yourself grace while you're doing it. Like, don't think you have to do it just because we say this year has grace in itself. I feel like every year the Father is going to give you grace. I just think that this one, it's the crowning season. So he wants to crown us. We're royal, like, you know what I mean? So take that crown and allow other people. I think of it like a lighthouse for a second. Allow other people to see that light. That's why it's a crown. Like, the focus is really on top. What is he bestowing upon you, right? That you need to complete. Go ahead and allow those things to fall in place. And I said something before too. Last thing I know, I'm going.
No.
Give me a little mic and I'm gonna talk forever. So I'm kidding. You are a unique puzzle piece, and you're not gonna fit into every puzzle. Be okay with that. So as you're completing the things you need to complete, realize that you are uniquely made, right? He is the potter and we are the clay. He's continually making us into what he desires for us to be. So don't be ashamed, be unashamed. Be you, okay? I love you guys.
Beautiful. My one advice is take the leap. Take the leap. Speaking from someone who never used to move, who always used to question God because what he would ask me just never made sense or it was too intimidating. And I finally made a decision that I was going to trust him and take a leap. And to see the Father transforming my life before my eyes, I am in awe of what the Father does. And I am now in a season where I am experiencing a level of fulfillment that I've never experienced before, and contentment to know that I am right where God desired me to be. I can't even articulate what that feels like to say I am in purpose. I mean, is everything perfect? Absolutely not. Do I got problems? Absolutely yes. But there's such a level of peace and a level of contentment to know that I am walking out the purpose that God had designed for me to do before I was even a thing in my mother's womb. And there's a level of such fulfillment that comes with. So even if you might be fearful, or God might be asking you to do this thing that does not make any sense, let me tell you, the impossible part is his part. The impossible part of the vision is God's part to handle. You just focus on taking the leap and stepping out on faith and doing your part and leaving the rest to God. So that's my tip for purpose-driven life. Take the leap.
Oh, that was beautiful, Mandy. That was beautiful.
Hope you guys enjoyed tonight. We will be back first Sunday of October. We love and appreciate you for hanging out with us for these last few hours. We just enjoy this community. We are building the Living Single and Saved community. And if you say, man, I cannot wait a whole month, guess what? We are together Monday, Wednesday, Friday in prayer at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at Clubhouse. So if you say, I can't wait that long, meet us in prayer. We are there Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, Eastern time, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in prayer. We also have the School of Intercession that's starting this week. We have the Preach that's starting next week. I'm having a budget webinar this weekend. A lot of beautiful things going on. So if you say, I can't wait a whole month, well, just come hang out with us at one of those encounters and we will make it happen. Last words.
No, thank you as always for viewing. Continue to share. Let's grow this community of believers that want to be, doing the Father's business. Why won't we want to do that? Such a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
This is a Latter Rain production, the Living Single and Saved podcast, hosted by Mandy and Steffi. We are a safe space for a community of believers who are passionate about living life according to biblical standards while navigating everyday challenges encountered by singles. Tune in every first Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Program will be streamed live via YouTube, Facebook, and the Latter Rain website. For more information, please visit www.ladder.org.
Where little singing